And we're back. Still here at the end of the world. Not much more I can do except risk my life. So, now we get to think about what to do next. I'm going to do another manual save. I know I did it, but oh well. So now we have to consider. We have to considerate. We're here. I kind of wouldn't mind. I don't have enough money for a mirror catch box, but I should be able to get to the Khanate. I'd like to do some exploring. I'd like to get a little further, see a little more of the world. I wish I was just overwhelmed just now with a feeling of I wish fuel efficiency was a thing that happened more often. Because I think there's maybe two things in the game that increase fuel efficiency. And one of them is my mechanic that I have right now. It's not optimal. It doesn't, I don't know, it feels like it lowers the exciting like growth curve, you know? I don't know. It's a weird game. I don't know that it works very well as a roguelike game. I was talking about it with someone, with a group of people, and it's too long a loop to be good for roguelikes, because you die, you lose a massive amount. Even if you even if you painstakingly rebuild everything, and you I don't know, you say you manage to keep your boat, maybe your engine. I don't know how much you can keep. You manage to save a lot of money so that your next captain can at least buy stuff. And then you go, well, it's like even if you give them the map that makes it so that the world doesn't change. And I don't think you can do that. I think you can only save one thing that isn't just like reified money. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's good as if it's fun for you, that's great. I cannot imagine going through the same storyline beginnings over and over, just trying to rebuild everything that I lost. I think I would go insane. I think it would drive me nuts. Okay, so I'm just gonna go east. I'm gonna go east to Mount Palmerston, I guess. I wouldn't mind finding out what the heck that place is. And then I might just go east. Start going. This is sort of a vague area I'd like to aim for. What can I buy there? I can buy candles. Though there's no such thing as a good profit for them, really, except at vendor bite if you only pay 30. Yeah, the main thing is Stygian ivory for polythreme. Yeah. Mostly I'm hoping to explore. I mean, that's the gist of it. I want to learn, I want to explore. I want to show you what I was watching as I adjust my volume. I want to increase my map. Brimstone on the wind. One thing that's good to note is that because supplies always goes down at a certain rate, going merely 1x doesn't help you. I remember someone did the math on that. Like, you should always go full speed unless you need to do precision maneuvering, like if you're in a battle or something. Otherwise, it doesn't profit you, because even if there was fuel efficiency in going slower, it's lost in the supplies, and there isn't fuel efficiency in going slower. Okay. So let's see. I forget. She wanted something. Yeah, created human souls. We don't eat souls usually. I told you that I miss London. I miss hell. I'd like a keepsake. And all souls are ours, you know, by right. Good lord. Oh. You drown, it'll be here with me for always. Mortals do drown, so... Goodness. It won't hurt at all. So, perhaps not for now. Okay. The Imperious Sister's Tale. She begins commandingly as though you had met at a salon in London, as though there were no burning mountain at her back, and as though you were socially just a little her inferior. Thank goodness, someone who might help me, she says. I have been searching everywhere. My brother is troubled, you see, troubled by some past difficulties. I came to Mount Palmerston because I thought possibly they had his soul. She drops her voice to a whisper on the last words. But it isn't here. And now there's something else I must try. And you have a zubmarine. Aigul. Have I been to Aigul? I don't think so. The woman is no longer exactly youthful, but she speaks passionately from under her veil. Perhaps she has studied heroines on the stage. I need help to be reconciled with my dear brother. Sure. I'm guessing that's what Aigul looks like, which does not fill me with excitement. He used to work for the Admiralty. Something happened to distress him there. When I asked him about it, he said that I had enough to worry about with my own concerns. My husband was ill at the time, but I could help him if he would only permit me to know his troubles. For, you know, she puts a hand on her heart. Bearing one another burdens is what makes us truly good. Uh-oh. She tells you that you'll need to go to Aigul, the city of regrets, find her brother's regret, and return it to her. She will pay, gladly. That sounds like a bad idea. I don't think he wants his regret. Unless you mean like his soul. In which case, if he doesn't want it, don't give it to him. Oh dear. I've never seen her before. I don't know if she's like new or if I just never saw her. But I never had parabola linen. The problem, like, parabola linen is kind of hard to make profitable. So it's really only good for storylets. Yeah, like, you can get it at Irem, and that's about the only way where it doesn't suck. Yeah. Okay. So I have that. I can buy supplies. Supplies aren't as good as elsewhere. Yes, 22. It's better to go elsewhere. And I have 8. So really the main thing is just getting fuel, because it's cheaper here. Devil Bone Dice. I don't even have them on my chart. Oh wait, yes I do. Down here at the bottom. You can sell them for an Echo's profit at Fallen London, or 3 if you go to Con Shadow, which I do intend to go to. Do a manual save, Overhill, and then I'll do that many just in case. And I'll save as possible idiot. Okay. And off we go. So I wonder if this place to the south is Aigul, if that's why she was here. In which case I should probably descend. Oh god. Those are pearls that were his eyes. What? What? So this is not Igul. This is some other place. I don't know where. I think this should count. Like here. There we go. They call it the City of Flowers, but the flowers are crystals, spiral matrices grown on the walls of Anthean caves. The inhabitants of Anthe are at least partly crystal too. They call it going sharp, becoming more perfect and clearer and colder. Huh. Okay. A concern. The inhabitants of Anthe go sharp. Not all at once, but piece by piece, they turn into crystal. They sort themselves by sharpness, too. The sharp-handed cluster with others of their kind, ignoring the keen-footed and the brittle-waisted. To progress through Anthe is to take on more and more of these attributes. To enter the deeper chambers restricted by sharp style. Choose which chambers you would most like to discover. The Antheans speak of a woman named Rosina, dying of a curious disease and sequestered among the sharp-spleened. I need sharpness of spleen. Okay. Well, we'll do this at least. Access to Anthe is restricted by type of sharpness. Those who are sharp in the ears do not necessarily mingle with the sharp-tongued. As for the inhabitants who are sharp throughout their full bodies, they don't circulate much. There is said to be a cavern, broad and shallow-floored, where the perfectly sharp grow old together. They aren't capable of anyone else's company anymore. At least, that's what you're told, and you can hardly go and ask. At any rate, they are more like growing crystals than like people, slowly expanding and bonding with the rock. Goodness. Consult the woman with the cubical eyes. Learn how to accept the blessings that Anthe offers. Determine what is best for yourself and whose companionship you seek in the bubble caverns. I see. Chemical means. Meter salt in an unread log. It is untested. Go sharpen the spleen. Surrender your capacity for anger. Join the society of diplomats, saints, and cold-blooded tyrants. So you can do that. So anything else is different, but you can just do the spleen. Take on a proud indifference to toxins, fraternize with spies, assassins, professional poisoners, and those who need to survive on strange diets. Odd. I'd rather have a tattoo at Clathermont. Gain a wound. The rain will kill you. Okay, so you can undo it, it looks like. It just causes a wound, but you can always go back to London to undo a wound. Okay. So you can sell... Okay, so this is one of the places where you can sell sapphires. That's odd. I don't have that on my... Oh, wait, yes I do. Here we go. I was looking at Igul. Yeah, no. Anyway. 12 and 25, so it's not great. And ambiguous Eelith. I haven't gotten... I don't have them on my chart. I don't know if I should add them. I don't really see them very much. I'll put that down to maybe add for later. Ambiguous Eolith? Question mark? A thinking creature made this. Or the sea made this. Or both. Okay, so... that seems fair. And you can buy... The problem is meter salt is still kind of expensive to me as well, so that doesn't really help. I could delve. I think I'll save this for later, personally. I'd rather... Yeah, I'd honestly rather not. Okay, so where can I go next? I will go east. Towards the rising sun, which does not exist. Huh? What's this? Man, I'm gonna hop back up. I think this might be an important place. This might be the principles of coral. Oh, nope, I was wrong. It's a lot purpler than above. Yeah. Huh. Come on. Show up on the map. Thank you. Ooh. What's this place? Wait a second. This isn't... I didn't know this could be next to the principles of coral. Like at all. This place is important. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the hardest part about this, is that you have to have an incomprehensibly small amount of terror in order to enter this place. And also, you shouldn't. Not all are Uremi or Withern. There's the odd researcher, the occasional deranged ice sculptor, now and then a very cold, very sad, rubbery man. For the most part, an atmosphere of friendly rivalry reigns. Towers and ramps and galleries and stairs of ice, raised and spun like an architect's honey dream. No spider ever wove so complex a web. The towers are utterly pristine, untouched by human life, but a pitiable encampment squats by the dock. If you can enter, you shouldn't. We get enthusiasts here from time to time. Yes, you might be able to enter the castle before the appointed time. You might even find something of value there, but you'd be despoiling sacred ground, my friend. It will take your stories from you. It will take your essence, yourself. And if you survive that, you'll likely anger the gods of the Z. Yes, they're real. As real as the corridors of Frostfound are. Stay away, my friend. Stay away. Yep. We're going to have to go here with, I believe, with this guy. No shops. Yeah, that's the thing. This place isn't particularly useful except for the main quest thing that you can do here. You can go in multiple times, I think, but there's like one main plot reason to come here. Okay. I really would like the principles of coral because it's useful, I feel like, to get that started. Bright. I don't know what that is, but okay. I don't... False stars above. Why can't you just show... Like, I'm here in the principles of coral. Show me where Port Cecil is. Oh, southwest. Oh, that's far away. discover the wreck of the Emperor Wolfgang? I'll look at that in a second. I think that's like a plot thing. Sorry, dude. I'll play with you later if I can. Whew, poor Cecil. Rumpled convolutions of coral fill the water, glimmering with silvery light. The harder you look, the more you see shapes amid the chaos, almost as if they were sculpted. This one could be a crenellated castle. That one, a horse's head. Chess. A neat little port huddles into the side of a coral island, prosaic imperial docks and houses tucked away in a baroque, organic chaos. In that curious silvery light, among the frozen chaos of coral, the scene has the unreal air of a pencil sketch, crumpled and discarded. Chess is popular in the principles. The port is full of exiles, drunks, and washed-up Z-traders. They all play, often obsessively. Be careful, the chess pieces are carved from scintillac. Here in the principles, that can be very dangerous. Ooh. The older inhabitants of Port Cecil carry coral incrustations like a disease, splotched with silvery light. They like to go up into the limestone height behind the harbor to lay their heads against the pillars and towers, stare at the roof of the Neath, dream open-eyed. Sometimes they speak of things far away, the Khanate's work, the smuggler wars, the Fathom King's secrets. Perhaps it's not all invented. I'll do this, sure. You don't know how long you've been playing. You won a match, another. The rough coral tips of the chess pieces are smeared with blood. Yours, your opponent's. But you have begun to realize that your moves recapitulate the movements of the powers of the Neath, the flukes and their shapelings, the bazaar that lurks in London, Mount Nomad that prowls the sea, salt, stone, storm. With every move you take, the shape of it becomes clearer in your mind, sharper. Checkmate, you say. One more game? Your first officer is tugging at your arm. Ignore them. You have chess to play. I have 26 secrets. I need to, like, level up stuff. Okay. So I'm going to make a manual save. This is probably fine for Overhill. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how many I should do. Also, is there anything for you? Nope. Increase my hearts, I suppose. The doctor is methodical and scrupulous. You spend an informative afternoon and learn much. However, when you ask detailed questions on the anatomy of the eye, he grows reticent and soon ends the conversation, complaining of a headache. Okay. Look forward to, like, I don't, you know, the problem, like, he doesn't have a story, so it's not like, you know, it doesn't feel like much of a loss when you lose him. So my actual total is 32. Sure. I also want to up my hearts a lot with somebody. Luckily, I have people to be iron for me. I do kind of wish it said what your actual iron was without the people that you have. So I gotta take him. Some mirrors. I'm gonna end up. I'm not gonna find any live specimens, and I'm gonna end up just doing it. You know, I'm just gonna eat. I'm gonna eat 2 of my people. Yeah, harbor provisioners. This is the generic one. This is what you get in Savior's Rocks instead of the cool, like, Spider Run Silk Shop. It's a shame. There's another place that also, I can't remember where. There's a, I don't know if it's like Pigmote or somewhere, but there's another place that ought to have a store, and it also is overwritten by this. Okay, so I'm curious what else I should do. I don't... Like, I'd like some Scintillac. Mirrors. My mirrors is my highest, and it's only a 60% chance of success. When the Z washes across the coral's edge, it glows a rich purple. Each time it washes across your boots, you expect it to leave stains. You edge along the slippery coral, picking up lumps of brighter glowing stuff here and there, and though the Z doesn't stain, eventually it begins to whisper to you, phrases so clear that you catch yourself looking over your shoulder in case your crew has spoke. They have not. They're looking around, just as you are. Between stars, the Z says, descend the chain. When it runs out across the coral, it sounds almost like a soft chuckle. I rest here, it tells you. I forget. I think this can be one of the colors of the Neath bow. Yeah. I think it might be apocyan. I don't know if Scintillac itself works or if it has to be a special item. Like, we could see the apocyan, like, knight chess piece in Port Cecil. I'll do another one, sure. This is the same thing. Initial gambits. Yeah, here it starts getting harder. Yeah. Okay. Manual save. Okay, so I've saved. You'll be back. Oh no. You don't often look at chess pieces. Not really look. The bishops with their hooks, the knight with its mane and teeth, the kin and the cream, white mingled with red, the roots that pin the corner of the board down to keep you safe from your opponent. You lift a paw to toy with it, touch its velvety pads. Checkmate, your opponent says. She grins. Looked too closely, did we? You need to be careful with Scintillac chess sets. Her face is blank and white as the dome of a chess pawn. Get out. Get back to the ship, till the waking dream of the coral clears. Oh God. I shouldn't do more. Stupid of me. Odd thoughts bubble up each time you touch a chess piece. This one longs for home. That one has a secret desire for revenge against the slayer of its rank mate. This will be a queen one day. Those would do better as metal. You taste the metal. You ignore these thoughts and move methodically to a victory over your opponent. He blinks. Checkmate? He asks, helplessly. When enough games, then something else will occur. Yeah, so it gets harder and harder. And it's pages. I'm curious, do I have another? Because he does pages for me. Is there another one who does pages? I think she does mirrors. Yeah. Because if I don't have someone who does pages, I might need to... I might need to keep him along and not let him go to the Chelenate. Oh no. He is the only one I can do. Oh, this makes it tough because we're close to the Chelenate. I'm gonna look that up very quickly. Who has the ability? Increase pages. Let's see. Who else can increase it for you? Is it only the plausible surgeon? My God. Oh no. Well, there you go, I guess. That's weird. Like you might not start off with the plausible surgeon. Hold on. I'm gonna see if there's a list. Pages, hearts, hearts, hearts. Veils. Mirrors. Iron. My God. He's the only one. I didn't expect that at all. Oh, wow. I mean, you know what that means. I'm gonna go up to the maximum that he can do, and then 46. If I get rid of my other officers that give it to me, okay, just for right now. I have 38, so I can upgrade another 11 times, maybe 12. I'm gonna upgrade my pages as much as I can. I didn't. Every other stat, every single other stat can be done with an officer if you have the secrets for it. This, I just looked. There is no other way to achieve pages. Events aside, there's no way to spend secrets. Oh boy, I'm just going to increase. Okay. Alright, I didn't know that. It's a good thing I looked that up. I was going to give him up at the Chelenate immediately. Oh boy. Much more. Should be the last one. Okay. So that's that. Now... First officer. Sure. Oh, he's hearts -1. I didn't notice that. Chief engineer. Okay, there isn't one. Okay. Okay. He's okay. I'm just going to say okay 15 more times. And then perhaps one day it will be. Okay. See, so it's still 60. Okay, so manual save. So that is the highest that I myself can manually raise my pages. So now it's up to 61, min-maxing with my officers. That's good to know. From now on, it can only be done through adventure. But I've used up the doctor to the fullest. Now I'm okay. I feel okay giving him over to the Chelinate. And I've done my save. I have a problem. I've done my save. Now I'm gonna just keep going. Okay. Wait. Okay, that's the same one. 4 secrets. Good lord. Yeah, I'm gonna start saves going. I talked about it with a friend who's also played this, Minerva, and she was just like, yeah, no, I save scum. It's just not fun if you just die, you know. It's true. It's just true. $19. Interesting. I'll say that's the easiest that I've ever had it with the chess. But then I don't think my pages were ever that high. I think if I recall correctly, when I first played, I think I did like soldier because I wanted high iron and heart because I knew I was gonna hate combat. So my captain's Heartacre, that line of captains were all former failed soldiers as part of the failed expedition to conquer hell. I'm going to do this one because this one seems more interesting than this one. I think this might just lead me to more. I'm just going to do this one. As you reach the crossroads in Port Cecil, a voice whispers pawn to Bishop 6. A rearing shape the size of a cottage, rather like a mitred bishop indeed, stands 6 yards to your right. A crevice in its coral side might be a cave mouth. That's something like out of The Prisoner. Like Patrick McGoon would be walking around the village and someone would be like, knight to E6, and then there'd be like the Ecclesiastes 6 cafe, and he'd wander in there and then he'd get beat up. Anyway, you squeeze through the crevice into a narrow space like a stair. Irregular steps lead down. The silver light is strong here, and it grows stronger with each step downwards. Ooh. Silvery light fills a sea cave, dripping from the walls. It condenses to pools of whitish fluid on the uneven floor. Sea sounds fill the cave, strong and slow, like the long beating of a heart. On a square slab of coral, someone has set up a game of chess. The pieces are different from the ones used in London. You see the spiraling bishops, the corner roots, the kin, and the terrible cream. As you touch each one, a deep voice whispers its name. Okay. I don't know what these do. I don't remember which one I did. I probably did this one. I mean, I can survive a wound, if I recall. Why not? Life is short. Oh, dang. That's cool. Ooh, the cavern breathes around you. That was piquant. Thank you, R. Thank you, R. It distracts from the pains of dissolution in, but I want so to dissolve. Will you help me? Sleep will not enough. I desire no dreams. Will you help? Does the coral reef want me to kill it? Offer an assistant flutes and scintillac. You enjoy scintillac, aren't you? Okay. A rubbery man rises from a cyst in the floor. An iridescent cicatrice crosses its face. Even in this flood of silvery light, it pulses like a fevered moon. It shuffles closer. I'm going to write that word. It's another word I don't know. Cicatrice. Schalt flions, it wheezes. Unprecedented. A rubbery capable of human speech in however debased and pitiful a mode. My emissary, the cave whispers. Treat it gently. The whisper follows you back up the steps. Take it to the salt lions. Dang. Holy Madeira. Dang. Also, don't get to do anything there. The chess players that were all watching nervously. That went way better than I remembered it. I remembered it being so much harder. I had to save scum for like half an hour to get even into that undersea cave. Okay, so that's all that. And now... Well, first of all, let's look at this. Its brothers and sisters have abandoned it. Pearly light drips from its mantle crest. The principals have touched it, and not gently, but it can work miracles with salt and fish flesh. Fascinating. And it's got some pretty good stats, I think. What do you got? 6 and 3. 4 and 2, but also another 2. 9. Okay, so does a little less overall, but still. Pursuing chess, speaking with the principals, seeking the salt lions. I need more strange catches. Clearly. Perhaps if it comes to your cabin, you should put down some sort of matting. Intriguing. Okay. Well, so I'm going to do that. Manual save. Okay. There's nothing else I can do here. That just leads me back. Okay. I want to check out that wreck and see if anything pops up when I'm near it, because it's weird that it's just right there. And then we'll continue searching. Oh, the moray is long gone. Of course not. You'd be too useful if you found something. So that's frost found. Of course it's not going to say that. Great. Oh well. We will continue mission onto Khan's heart, I suppose. I'd like to find the chelinate. Okay. Is there a place here? I see a building. Yeah. Of course. I love the frogs. They look a little weird. And of course the dock is as far away from you as possible as you come from the west. But okay. Nupmit built this place as a prison for the Khanate. Now answers only to its governor, and its governor answers to no one. Oh dear. Oh jeez. Lonely for more prisoners. $3,000, yeah. Huh. I like that how it still lets you do it. It's like you can only do it once. It's just... Ships from the Khanate are most common, but you see Chelenite vessels, polythreme triremes with chained and sulky unfinished men, corsairs disposing of their miscreants, even one furtive Iremi skiff. The wardens pay them well for the prisoners. I just remembered I could probably... I don't know if I have enough fuel for it anymore, but I could probably get to Irem. I don't know. Yep, harbor provisioners. Nothing to do here now. Will it surprise you to learn that there is plot? So I could go there and try and make it back to Mount Palmerston, get more fuel. We could go down, look for the Chelenate, and maybe make some money over here. I kind of want to do that more. Like Irem, the City of Pillars, is interesting, but again, it's another place where I didn't get super much out of it. Like where? I mean, I'll do a quick look, Mr. Bat, but if you make me sad, you'll regret it. I can't do anything to the bat. What's north of here? Okay. Like, can you show it? What? It's moving, so I'm not going to go over there. Whatever it is, it's probably going to try and kill me. Scrimshander. No. God, that sucked. Okay. Before you looms the bone tower of Scrimshander, the city of remembrance. Ivory structures jut from the pile, supported by buttressing tusks. As your light plays across them, you can make out inscriptions, names, pictures, and dozens of lost languages. The largest ones carry a warning. All are welcome to enter, but none may depart without leaving something of themselves behind. Oh dear. Drowning floats before the docking gate of a bone cathedral. She wears a cowl and carries a ceremonial key carved from a femur. At your approach, she sings a solemn greeting. Soldier, scholar, servant of art, history welcomes without toll. But be warned, ere you depart, none who enter escape whole. What's the price? Scrimshander. Fuel is cheaper here. Why is it cheaper here? Yeah. I mean, I said cheaper. It's the same price as in London. But still, that's not shabby. Where are people getting unread logs? I've seen that like 4 times now. Ooh, and you can buy lamentable relics. Someone wanted a lamentable relic, and I don't remember who. Stygian ivory. is 27 here and can be sold for 30 in polythrene. So if I want to just like buy it here and go straight to polythrene, I could, but it's the same price, right? Yeah, it's the same price, so like why stock up on it here if I'm gonna go to Con Shadow anyway? I guess the thing is if I go to Con Shadow, it is like a little out of the way. I think I'd rather get it at Con Shadow. I can't remember where lamentable relics are useful. I mean, I think they sell for 10. In Fallen London. Let's see. I know that they're used in your study. And according to the wiki, yeah, it can be useful if you're lucky when you go to Irem. Whoops. My hand slipped. I think that's good for now. I don't want to, like, I straight up don't want to go in. I don't know what this, what is the price? Like, is it something fun, like $5? Because I can do $5. Let's see. Because it'd be fun to, like, get something out of here, but I am concerned about the cost. Like, what do you lose when you leave? That's sort of what I am curious about. Is it just like a wound? I don't... Like, you can leave behind some important stuff. I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm too nervous about what I might lose. I don't know what I'll lose 100%. I don't know if it's, like, random. Darn it. I've manually saved. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Just to explore, you know? It's just a game. The Guardian unlocks the ivory gate. Steel glints in her fingers as she carves an image of your ship into her massive bone key. Your brave crew decides to remain on the ship as you disembark for the tower's dry center. Oh, sweet. That's okay. I don't blame them. You walk down a damp nave of bone. Intricately carved ivory walls depict improbable scenes from history. The walls are edged in tiny finger bones, each bearing a single name. Oh god, I don't want to lose a bone. Inhabitants wear ashen robes and carry steel-tipped bone quills, but you recognize most as drownings or chelenate expatriates. While most are quiet and ignore visitors, you hear heated arguments over interpretations of the sacred remains. Sacred remains, which will include whatever you leave behind when you depart. Oh no. Can I just do a port report first? Thank you. The inhabitants of Skirmishander spend much of their time preying on the mysteries of the past. They spend almost as much time arguing about their interpretations. Salted residents often collect nearby salvage, studying the results and inscribing their interpretations on any skeletal remains. But those who leave too often are easily recognized by what they have left behind in their travels: memories, personalities, and bones. Otherwise, they rarely consider the present, certainly not with the same focus they give to the history buried within their tower. Recent world events are met with polite silence, unless it prompts an anecdote about similarities with antiquity. Apart from old grudges and new theories, very little changes here. Like, you couldn't be a... man. Being a kid here would suck. Simple houses are built with bricks of ash and bone dust. Each bears a finely engraved story, from the mundane to the profane. Some bricks tell the same tales, from different and contradictory sources. Okay, I dig that now. You spend a quiet hour reading the side of a derelict house. A handful of its tales are suspiciously familiar. So we'll do this one. After the reverent silence of the outside, the boisterous noise of the amphitheater washes over you like the heavy sea beyond these walls. Okay. Actors strut in an amphitheater of bone, performing historical plays of dubious veracity. An audience watches from below, with each roaring drunk member applauding or jeering different details of the work. Above, an imperious figure wearing a crown of ivory judges each performance from a raised theater box. All are served by a single man, weaving between the crowd and wearing a perpetual smirk. The mushroom wine he serves is stale. The plays he announces are questionable at best, but the impeccably bearded man with the olive skin laughs at every performance and has a smile for every patron. Coffee. Wine. Hope to regain their presence. Okay. I like the societal context. Well, I'll start here, top down. More theories on the state of history. Some cheer history as the work of brave and inspired heroes, especially them who wish they could be heroes themselves. The glib historian rolls his eyes theatrically. Others say it's all shaped by cyclical changes in scientific progress, economics, and such. But nothing gets in the way of a good story quite like nuance. He spits the word like a rotten grape. We'll let them argue up on the stage and give an ivory crown to whoever is most convincing at the moment. He waves a hand at the temporary monarch in the raised seat above. But as far as I'm concerned, he confides, filling a patron's mug with cheap wine, history is what you make of it, and I make a killing. You've learned enough about history to distrust any one person's interpretation. I've learned. Let's see. That's 50 echoes. I may save that for a later time because I don't have a lot of money right now, and I was intending on purchasing something at Khan's Heart. I forget now what. I mean, I could do Stygian Ivory at Khan's Shadow, but wasn't Spider Silk? No. Romantic literature? Was I gonna have the Well, okay, so I won't spend the money anyway. I think I'll do a pattern because you know what? Like, I get how a person in the moment of a crisis can be very important or whatever, but No. History is not made by individuals, it's made by groups. Heroes are merely the products of their time. These fools celebrate a pearl and ignore the oyster that made it. Help us tell a more responsible tale, and we put things right. For now, at least. Okay, so I can't actually do this right now. I've just chosen my faction. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have gone in here. I didn't get much out of it. What? A band of scholars stands near the exit, angrily brushing ash off of himself. At your approach, he brusquely demands passage to hide away. Of course he'll pay. Oh my god, I'll absolutely do that. Oh no, you can sacrifice your own stats. Oh. War hunting trophy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be coming here very often. When I have like the Caligo class vessel, the one that's for shipping, and I can have like 50 mushroom wines and 50 coffees. So when I'm buttloads rich, maybe I'll come back and do these. But I'll do this. He studied remains of 100 wars and read 1,000 bitter ends. Now he seeks the survivors so he can interview them in person. He assures you it's a purely academic interest. His life has been splendid, personally. He merely wishes to see how they live with themselves. What a dickhead. I love it. How do you live with yourself? Oh no. Oh fuck. I thought that was gonna be my thing. I guess I'm not really leaving anything behind if I take someone with me. 28:46. Is this gonna wound me? No. I'm gonna. Guards take you to an upper chamber. The floor is bare except for burning incense and a pile of gray bricks in the corner. Each one bears a name and a tale, but you can't pause to read them all. One by one, you carry the bricks across the room, stacking them neatly into a wall. The work is slow and the air thick with bittersweet incense. Each brick is heavier than the last, and the work becomes a blur. Sweat beads and trickles down your back, running down your face, soaking through your clothes, drowning you in salt. You awake from the dream with a start. You are clean and dry, lying in an unfamiliar room. You pull yourself out of bed with great effort and leave the gray bricked house behind. Okay. I don't want to do that again. I thought that was bad. I guess. So at least I know what it's like there. So I know not to come back unless I have 5 sea tails. So now I could go up to Irem, see what else is up there, and then I can trundle back. I kind of want to do that just to see. And I think I have enough that I can do it. I don't like that it's moving. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to keep going. Actually, you know what? I'm going to surface. I want to see what's on the surface world. I hate that it uses fuel as you go up. Nervous. Are those spider webs? I want to see if I can get this area below me to light up on my map. Oh god. Yep. That's Savior's Rocks. Awesome. Southeast, yeah. Oh my god, you can see the spiders. Ooh. So I'm gonna mainly save here. Because I can only assume this is gonna end poorly. Oh, you need... Okay. Alright, so there we go. So I'm safe. Okay, I'll come back down to Savior's Rocks because I think... Yeah. I'm gonna go down, then back down, so... I can avoid the spiders for now. There's too much relief in my voice. Ooh, what's that? Okay. I don't know what that is. Ooh, there's a dock. Is this a rim? Nice. It's further south than I thought. I thought it was on the edge. None have ever spoken truthfully about this place. What? Who's this? It's my whisper-locked box. A heavy-lidded fellow in a satin smock will smile at you. One of ours, he will say. We made it to order for a Z captain to guard her legacy. She might tell you the phrase. We do not. Keep it for in case she returned long ago. When it was opened, it will be safe. We'll come see you. Are you sure you want to know? Perhaps she doesn't want to tell you the key phrase, no matter how much you offer. Perhaps she wants her box back? Well, give it back to her. I don't want... Everything has told me that the longer you keep a quest going, the more you get out of it. Which is the cat's chiefest claw? What cage imprisons nothing, the fellow will say. Where do petals begin? Where do stories end? He beams at you. Actually, for an ironic riddle, that's almost helpful. Okay, yeah. The cat's chiefest claw. Okay. Well, I know where that is. Irem, the pillared city. She will rise from the Z and the ice like dawn. She will be garlanded with red and decked with gold. The seven serpent will watch you longingly from its high pedestal. You will always arrive as a stranger, but when you leave, some part of you will always remain. Beer and coffee? Yes, please. Ooh, nice. Toss the relic in. When the waves settle, you will see falling snow and black bark. You will see two men standing in wintry woods. The younger will prove himself to the older. Others have done so before, others will do so after. The vision will change. The old man will sip coffee on a sunlit street. He will write an order. He will send a pawn below to London. Gasp. When you will have sat down to write the report, you will recall that it was written already. Who wrote it? The report records that. It was already written when it was found. Who found it? The report describes another report, which will indicate the name of the finder. Where is the other report? There's a footnote which describes when you will record its location. When will that be? When all is well, and all manner of thing is well. Amazing. So, you can tell this place has some connection with Wither, because, well, obviously. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, I'm sure someone would scream and say that you should keep your secrets. Ooh. I didn't know you could buy one of those. How many secrets do I have? Those are some good deals. I can't afford this. What do you mean? Secrets are made of fragments. Well, whatever. Anyway. An element of dawn, so you can sell it here. It's such an important item. Why would you get it for a mere 25 supplies? here. At least this, like, I'm a goobus, so at least, like, it makes sense that I would purchase this because I have officers that want it, you know? How many Tales of Terror? I have 11. Okay, here we go. I have 21. And you can buy it for 1,000. I guess that might be good in, like, late game. When you've explored the whole map, you're not going to get fragments that can gel into secrets. So that makes sense to me. Ooh. Can I get extraordinary implications here? No. Oh, wait, yes I can. But for 300. There are story events I can do to get a string in it, because I need that in order to further her narrative and maybe learn more about Grand Geode and the Dawn Machine. These are less garbage than I remembered, honestly. Again, like, I get, it's like flavor text to have like 3 different stores, but it would be nice to kind of have them all on just one page so I know what I have. Ooh. A study of a clearing amid trees that do not grow underneath, of a Zeke captain smashing the image of a painted serpent. The Zeke captain's crew looked on calmly. A forked tongue is visible in one's open mouth. The painting is tinted everywhere with Viric. The greenish color shell is sleep which cannot be seen on the surface of the world. You are the Zeke captain in the painting. You are also the painter. Oh, okay. I can only sell it here. Okay, I got excited. I thought I could acquire it here and give it to the curator. Problem is, like, secrets are valuable. Like, this is definitely valuable. A Judgment's Egg is definitely valuable. I would not buy an ambiguous Elith there, because you can get it for like $30 elsewhere. How worthless is a secret? It's like, I know I don't spend them, but that's because I'm bad at spending things, because it stresses me out. Definitely wouldn't buy a Lamentable Relic. If you can buy them for $10 elsewhere. Is that how little a secret is worth? Like, I could buy that, but I probably shouldn't. Especially with how little an amount of money I have. Okay, so what am I going to do? A mirror catch box is worth 500 elsewhere. That's kind of cool. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, if you don't intend to do as much as you can in this game, and you say you know the game very well, and you know what you're not going to do, then you're like, okay, if I'm not going to do anything with the element of dawn, I can sell it and I get something out of it, you know? But I'm just tempted to do... I shouldn't do this, because you can get this from sea creatures. I just hate fighting so much. So I'm not going to do it. I'll do... Where else can you get Watchful Curios? Because I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth a secret. Watchful Curio. You can get it... What? It's $77 if you're... it's a random. Okay, so it's random. Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought. Is because one of the reasons why I don't have it is on my trading chart is because you can't really trade it. The only thing is, I know that I need it for stuff. So I don't want to just like... Because you can do this, bring it to Polythreme as we saw. The king wants to chat with it. And you can do that. So should I get it now or should I wait? I guess that's the question. Yeah. I think I'll leave it for now. I'm curious about this. The Soothing Cooper. Do you get it elsewhere? I honestly didn't expect to see it here. I kind of thought it was a plot item like that you got in London. And if it is, then I won't purchase it here. But if it's the only way to get it, then I might as well get it here. Because you can take it to Station 3. Other places can want it. Otherwise, it can cost... Yeah, you can get it in a number of ways. So, I'm not going to purchase it here. It's one of those things where it's like, if you want to just get the plot going, you can just purchase it. But I'm not... I don't think I'll do that. I'll keep it... I'll wait until I'm like losing my mind, and then I'll come purchase it. So that's another thing. An empty mirror catch box. It's worth 500. For me, where it's like it's harder to find $500 than it is to spend 3 secrets. I'm looking up the prices. Yeah, it's 200. Oh, it's not even. It's 250. Oh, that's not. Yeah. I was kind of excited. I was kind of thinking, what if I got it right now? Because then I could further his... What do I need with him again? I need... What? It doesn't say? I know it says somewhere what I need. I just need to find it. Okay. Clayman and an empty mirror catch box. If I go... you know what? I'm just going to purchase one. Because apparently online it says like the best way to make money in this game is to go get sunlight from the surface. A Judgment's Egg is also very cool. I'm also going to leave it here because at least I know I can get it here. So I have that. I don't want to do that right now. I don't know how many secrets I have left. 18. And it's like, I'm not opposed to leveling myself up either, so... yeah, iron... Veils... Yeah, so, because she's going to be gone soon. So, I'll replace her with one of the other gunnery officers. But she's not the best anyway. Okay, so I think I'm sure I can be tempted to do more, but I'm going to leave it there for now. A Judgment's Egg is just very interesting. The Spores of Strange Gods. Yeah, that's the thing. So this is like it's the weird place at the edge of the map where time is different. It's in the future. It's always in the future. It will always be. It will always have been in the future. No, I'm not going to get the Strange Catch. It's worth less than $25. It is. It is. I know it is. I'm trying to convince myself. I just really don't like it. I really don't like fighting. I really don't want to do it. Who needs a strange catch? He needs like 55 more strange catches. And I'm never going to do what I did before, which is I sacrificed something to him and it failed and I just let it lie, and I should always manually reload and retry. I should never do what I did before because it is not worth just accepting a loss in the game. That is my opinion. And I'm sure other people would say that I spoil the game by thinking so. Yeah, so he needs... I mean, I can purchase them. I need a live specimens are hard to come by. Everything else he has is not so tough. And then she, I think, is the one who wants a strange catch. I'm kind of intrigued. It's just $25. So then I'm going to have that much less money. Let's see, $199. So let's do some math. I'm not going to cut any of this out. I've basically given up on cutting stuff out of this Let's Play because I don't like doing it. And I'm lazy and I'm bad. Okay, so 174 is what's left. If I'm trying to make a little money, then I should buy Stygian Ivory at Khan's Shadow. So that's $27. So I have 174 divided by 27. I'm very bad at math. 174 divided by 27 equals, I can get 6 pieces of ivory if I get rid of, if I buy the strange catch. I'm just going to buy the strange catch. Life is short. I guess. I'm bad at this game, obviously, but oh well. It is too late. I've oversaved. Now I'm going to go have lunch with Maybe's daughter. I love the idea of just having like 45 different officers on board. It's just like, I have almost more of these people than I have actual crew. Okay. Oh, I can purchase supplies. Who does supplies okay? Dahut. Nook. Okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'll just well, I've heard about you. You like to invite your officers to dinner, learn their secrets. Well, you don't need to dig far to find my secret. I want to talk to you about it, actually. By the way, she is almost certainly a backer. I've never met my mother. I know my father. I'm a countess on his side, actually. I'd like to find her. She's somewhere out at Z. If only... Really? You'd help me? That's too kind. If you insist. Here, it so happens that I made a list earlier tonight. Her mother will be found in one of these places. Okay. Can I just get rid of this one here? Oh God. She's known to visit. I think she must have come here when I was conceived. It's close to dreams. She will inhale a gulp of air, eyes half closed. I love this. It's like coming home. I'm guessing that each place I go, if it fails, it increases the chances that she's elsewhere. That's my guess. She will be here. The daughter shakes her head. Damn it. Is that what I meant? This place is confusing. Her gaze takes in present tense? Takes in the towers of ice and basalt, the roses blooming in the warm snow, the roll fishers gossiping with figments, the glimmer in the east. It's all right, though, isn't it? Every port you search. Yeah, that's what I figured. Or Naples. Okay. I'm not going to redo that one. I don't want to. It'll be better. It'll increase the odds at the other places, so it'll be fine. And this place is hard to get to. So if I were to reload on any attempt, it'd be one of the places closer to, like, London. Or if I get all the way to Naples and she's not there, because that'll be, like, the last place I check. I'm never going to go to Naples. Not anytime soon. Only to make some sunlight money, maybe, I guess. Are you sure Irem is there? Did I not discover it? I made a port report. Good. This game is quiet sometimes. I'm looking forward to finding the Gantt pole. Oh boy. No, Mount, you know that there's one. We're right next to one. I just don't know where the dock is. You're being a goobus to me on purpose. Southwest. There it is. Okay. Wait, what? What's this? What was that over there, then? Oh god, we're at the edge of the map. Look at that. As far away as you could possibly be. I just realized I'm gonna probably die from lack of supplies. Oh, dang it. It's like pebbles on a beach. Oh god. Oh, never go without candles. Oh my god. The glumness of the nativity is broken by the reds and golds of freshly hung banners. Spider-worshipping weavers and widows guide the traders in readying their celebration of gratitude to the generous neighbors that silently watch over them from the shadows. Nightmarish. What? You need wine? Oh, that's a shame. Just trinkets, confirms the man, holding out the box. She can hear a rattling and see a sudden look of horror on the man's face. He says nothing, though, merely backs away as quickly as good manners permit. Oh, boy. A stranger to spiders. The traders of the nativity have little practice showing appreciation, but at least put in an effort. In particular, they not entirely accidentally let slip the secret of the Accord of Grace, a hospitality granted visitors by the generous neighbors of whom they will speak no ill. They do, however, hint that this only applies to travelers arriving through the port. Those unlucky enough to run aground on the rocks can consider themselves... But no. A sorrow spider might hear something they would, of course, never say. So I love that. So if you don't come in via the port, the spiders take you. Nightmarish. Yep. They take your eyes. Terrifying. Yep, so this could have been a fun place for like getting silk, and instead they made it so you have to adventure for it, and instead you get these bad choices. Okay, I have low, but if I make it to... Okay, I'm going to manually save here. Regular, not even stupid one. And I'm just going to... I'm going to just do my best. I'm going to head straight for Khan's Shadow. And I should be okay. If I find the Chelinate, I'll find the Chelinate. If I don't find the Chelinate, I won't. It is weird that I don't understand how the mapping works, because obviously the Z-Bat thinks I haven't discovered this island yet, because otherwise the map would disappear. Yeah, see, it's still right there, and you can see, yeah, something. What's this? Is this? Okay. So the Chelinate is nearby. The underwater some distance to the southwest doesn't help me any. Is that a Lorn fluke? Where's the gaunt pole? What? What's this? Uh-oh. Did I get into attack mode? The haunted doctor breathes easier. He rummages for a hidden bottle, drinks deep. I apologize, Captain. It is not that I am a cowardly man, merely... He sighs. I was not Neath-born. When I ventured here, I knew nothing of claymen. Had hardly imagined I might one day share a handsome cab with a charismatic devil. I had never even heard tell of the sorrow spiders whose webs catch men's minds as easily as their bodies. Have you ever visited the observatory where they nest? I suspect not. His hand trembles. It was a full year I found myself there, with the lady. She wrapped me in silk, and her children kept me warm. She gave me her sight, and all she asked in return was my eye. It was a dream I cannot call a nightmare, yet one I woke from with shivers and a revelation. If it is in light that such sorrow breathes, only in darkness could there be hope. In the liberation of night, I believed I saw hope for us all. I was misguided. But that story, you know. Please, I would return to my duties. Oh God, poor guy. 600. That's not going to work out. Oh, fudge. Well... Okay. So it's directly south. Oh, snap. There it is. Oh. Phew. Okay. What will I learn? I'll learn that I'm in trouble. Fire the Zailer's dice for the corpse of a Zebat. It is ill luck for a Zailer to kill a Zebat. One wins it, but in his hand it becomes a freshly cut surface flower. His fellows cry out in envy and greed. They fall on him, and there comes a great rending of white petals. More petals fall, obscuring the mast, the ship, beneath the fallen stars of the roof. It is very cold. You will have to set a fire. Terrifying. Okay. So, I've done everything I can with that. Anyway, waves lap the slabby sides of a vast turtle shell, bigger than any cathedral. Chelonites loaf on wooden docks around the shell sides, staring sullenly. Lamps hang like decorations in a festive butcher's window. All around you, the sea is rank with scraps of ancient flesh. Release me from my contract, Captain, I beg you. I've saved up enough to compensate you. Awesome. Farewell, my friend. You were helpful with pages. The surgeon is as good as his word. Hands trembling, he counts out the coins and whispers a little secret he picked up back in London. He's vague about why he didn't mention it before. He collects his knives and instruments, heads into the shell, and is gone. To an echo, one strategic information. Whoa. If any of my guys are spies on board, this isn't going to make it back to Fallen London. I'm sad about that. Manual save. Oh, I gotta do after stupidity. Because it might be stupid. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh. Ooh. This one is like this works with the prisoner's honey, the firkin, because like you get the firkin and you trade it somewhere where you trade it for carboys of primordial shrieks. You bring those here and it makes the firkin, which is in Fallen London $25. If you go through all that effort, it comes out a full 37. So that's one of the biggest like normal profits in the game. The only cost is travel, really. Anyway, let's continue with story. Let's see what he says. Even the Chelonate hardy folk keep their distance. For the flesh, he slithers, drool pouring from between his rotten teeth. The gant pole, where the breathies die, bring flesh. We sell fit to the turthlier turth, fresher meath, big money to make. What? The Gant Pole is said to be deep underwater, mostly by sailors who do not believe it truly exists. Meat. Oh, okay, so I guess I would come back. Oh, I didn't expect that pop up. What else pops up? I don't know. Anyway. I'm not going to go to the Gant Pole right now because there's a good chance I'll die. Yeah, this place doesn't have supplies. I didn't know I would make... I forgot that... Well, I didn't know I would make it to the Chelinate, so I didn't expect to have more money. Okay. Alright. No matter what details you try to record, the stench creeps in around the edges of the sentences. The Chelonites, watchful despite the reek. Movement among the miasmic scraps of long-abandoned monster carcass. Frequent duels where the stink is thickest. Amazing. Yeah, look at that. One captivating treasure. So, if you recall, I mentioned that there's a super weapon that you can get in hell. And, it's not... It's the one that's already there. We saw it, the tittering artificer... The artificer, or whatever. I mentioned that it's too expensive to use that weapon, so you bring the ivory, you bring the double bone dice, and you get nothing out of it. It's because... It shoots doomed monster hunters. The pelagian juices that give them strength. A good number of them are doomed too, but you'll need to provide for their families. Yeah, so it's a captivating treasure, which, as we know, sells for 1,000 echoes. You would use them to purchase this ammo, a doomed monster hunter, and so each one, I can only assume that you shoot that one into Mount Nomad, and it does half the health. Because otherwise you would shoot twice, and that's more than 40% of players will ever see. Oh, I forgot this was one of the places. I couldn't understand why she came here to begin with, but she gestures around you at the design sketched on hide and scratched on stone. It's all tattoos. The alphabet's of bone and flesh. That's what our family keeps coming back to. She frowns. Our family is strange in every way imaginable. See, now it doubled. So it's added another 2%. So we'll go. That's what I figured. I found some of these, though. Well, found. You can have one. Are you going to be stern with me? They have so many trophies, they don't know what to do with them. Anyway, we're getting closer. I can feel it. I swear. So there's still Wither, which is for enclosed Isle of Cats, which is not... Con Shadow, which we're going to next. Port Carnelian. So I'm going to get 3 done in one thing, unless I die. Okay. That's not shabby. Oh boy. An outlandish artifact. I mean, I could, but an outlandish artifact, I don't know the value differential. Like a hunting trophy, as we saw, is also useful to say you want to leave with your finger bones intact from a scrimshander. I'm curious what this is. I'm going to make a manual save. Okay. Bring him a tail. And you'll receive an outlandish artifact. Okay. No thanks. That was... Okay. Memoirs, Glory's Bones. So that's like a plot-related thing. And maybe if you want an outlandish artifact, which is fair, but it's not what I currently don't need one. You know? Okay, so I can buy my Stygian ivory. Hold on, how close am I? I'm pretty close. Let's see. It's here. It's 26. It's 27 in Khan's Shadow. There are other things I can buy in Khan's Shadow, including... well, not in Khan's Shadow, but I can get the romantic literature. In Con Shadow, the fuel. What about supplies? No, neither of them are good. They're bad in both places. 15 and 25 each. Polythrene? Where's polythrene on my chart? Here we go. Yeah, that doesn't even sell those. Yeah, so I'm gonna lose out. So I'm gonna lose some money on buying more supplies. Unfortunately. Maybe I should have bought some up there. But I'm okay with losing some out. I don't want to reload if I don't have to. It's just a matter of, can I make it? And I think I can. I might have to become a cannibal, but I should be able to make it. So I can buy the Stygian Ivory here, or I can buy some of them here. If I buy 5 pieces of romantic literature and 5 supplies, will I be able to afford that though? I don't know. We'll see. Manual save after stupidity. Okay. Let's get scrambling, shall we? Because we're close. We're close to dying. I shouldn't have. I risked too much. And of course it's on the farthest side. Okay. Bad stuff happens if you hit that halfway part. Okay. But we made it. And, let's see. Okay. Huh. Oh no. It has to frighten the crew. I forgot that. Okay, so... Ooh. 19. What do these make? It's 22 at Con Shadow. So that is the best deal. I totally forgot I was gonna sell these here. Oh, wow. Okay, well. Okay, well, money is no longer an issue. Nor is space. That makes me feel a lot better. Whew, okay. I'm going to... Let's see. 5 pieces of literature times, say, 20. That's, well, that's 100. Minus 5, so it's 95. So as long as I have 95, I should be fine. The only thing is I need to have, I need to go to Abbey Rock before I get to Fallen London, because I think if you go into port, they look for it. So that wouldn't be good. Okay, but it's 100. It's basically $100 in order to get the romantic literature. 105 slots in my hold. So let's see what's here. Pilot port report. All good. Element of Dawn. That's so much. That's just like you're desperate to defeat Mount Nomad or something, and you're just like, I need every and all Monster Hunter. I will sacrifice everything I have. That's amazing. Who's that officer in the crowd? Ooh. Okay, so I'll do this one here. So she was a spy once, I think. I think she might still be one. Well, a lot of us are. Freelancers, anyway. Look, perhaps you shouldn't say that to anyone at the Admiralty. I do talk nonsense when I'm nervous. Aw, no luck. She murdered a white and gold here last month, or someone else in Lilac did. It's an unlucky color here, I think. But let me tell you something else I heard, and then we can look elsewhere. We'll find her. Okay. Ooh, nice. Okay. So I'm going to Watchful Curios. That's actually a good deal, because I can awaken. I'm about to go to Polythreme. That's a pretty good deal. Okay, I'm gonna manually save here. Yes, thank you. I want to look for Dahut. Okay. So, do I need to go into Khan's Heart? I don't believe so. So I will just go straight here, because Khan's Heart has like the same stuff. I'm not selling mushroom wine. So yeah, so I think I'm fine. So yes, I'm going to go straight over to Polythreme. I'm going to dump all my ivory. I'm going to get those Watchful Curios transformed into like Awakened, or whatever they're called. And then I can scuttle over, get more supplies. Oh, how much was it to bribe the factor again? Was it 200? Oh. Maybe it'll stay down here. No. I just wanted, fine, be that way. I will look it up manually. What was it? Demo Island. So, okay. Let's see, Demo Island. T. $200. It's 200 Echo. Okay, but when I sell the... They need to stop groaning with hunger. We're fine. So I'm going to do that in a second, because that's plot. I need 200, but... Okay, so let's see. Manual save. It's hard for me to multitask. Okay, he runs his novel fingers over the trophy, clicks his tongue. Good bone. He grinds, he chips, he engraves, he mutters in a half-dozen languages of the presbyterate. Soon 4 little blocky figures of bone stand in a row before him. Their eyes are wide and angry. Oh no, saw these in the Elder Continent once. Still do when I sleep or when my mind wanders. He drops them into your palm. No charge. If they start watching you, maybe they'll stop watching me. Oh. Okay. There's nothing unusual here, of course. Most nights, half the shadow hatches plots over cheap wine and old insults. But who's that officer in the crowd? The haunted doctor stands listening in rapt attention, his remaining eye closed. On a stage made from tables and upturned chairs, an attractive young man and woman take turns raging against injustice and talking of the glorious day when London and the Connate and all others who dare to elevate themselves above others will face their reckoning. The irony is, as ever, lost. Once the meeting ends, he hurries over to thank you, glowing with second-hand fervor. I have missed this, said the doctor, something strange taking over his face. If you didn't know better, you'd say it was a smile. He heads over to the young woman to try it out, renewed purpose in his stride. Uh-oh. Determined? Oh, no. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good. Your sorbet slowly melts untouched. No, they are not restless elements. He slams his hands down on the table. Do you not see, Captain? Every year the bazaar, she devours us from within. The rich dream honey dreams, while the poor shovel laker with their bare hands in the streets just to earn a few echoes to buy food. And above it all, the masters and the... He never does get around to answering your actual question of whether he enjoyed his main course. Oh, no. Okay. I am concerned, but perhaps it will be, perhaps all things will be well and all manner of things will be well. God, if I go, oh man, okay, so that was that. Which I just did. Just in case. I just got to remember it's number 2. Okay. Hold on, are there any other stories? What is this? We're fine. Leave it alone. Okay, so that's everything I can do. Okay, so here are the things I'd like to do. I'd like to go to Polythreme. I would like to get some Claymen. I'd like to get the Watchful Curios upgraded. I'd like to sell my ivory for a buttload of money. Then I'd like to go to Dahut and upgrade, get more fuel and supplies. Then go to Demo Island, bribe the Factor. After that, I don't know. I may have to go to London after that because Abbey Rock is a fair way away, actually. Yeah, I might do that. There's the salt lions for my nacreous fellow, the rubbery man. Yeah, so I'll just go this way. I'm concerned about what will happen here because I believe at some point something bad happens to him, and I'm worried about him. I love my little man, the rubbery man. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. Abbey Rock can wait. It's not like it's just like it's fun to further. Yeah, so I won't get the... Should I get the literature now? That's a thought. I may... After I sell Polythreme, I'll look at my fuel. I don't want like what happened last time where I just like stumbled into port. Yeah, I don't think I have enough room for 5 books anyway. I'm just going to go straight, and then I'll decide if I want to go back, and then forth, and then... Okay. We'll see. What is my hold like right now? I have exactly 5? Oh, that's a sign. That's a sign. Oh, wait, but I don't have the money, right? Yeah, I don't. I have the money for 1. Yeah, so that's not worth it. Okay. So that makes me feel better. I can't do it. therefore I'm safe. That's probably a bad way of thinking. Oh my god. My terror is so bad. Oh dear. I've been out too long. Oh man, I need that bad. Once I get down to London, it'll be back to 50, and then I'll have like 65 nightmares. I need to look up a strategy guide for how to lower terror, because I'm clearly not good at it. Okay, I can't go to concert. I could go to concert after this, because I'm about to make a fair amount of money, I believe. But then I can see my fuel levels, I risk running out. Breath of Change passes. That's happened like 3 times in this voyage alone. Okay, so we got that. 7. I have 7 available. I'm just going to do my selling for now. Okay, so now I'm up to 499. Can carry clear. Oh right, that's the other thing. I want to go to Hunter's Keep. Okay. You'll just see your little friend. That night, the hill of Polythrene quakes. The words on the walls uncurl themselves. The birth cries are everywhere heard as claymen sit up, open in curious eyes, awaiting their tithing to London. The clay broker waits on the quayside. On the flat palm of his broad hand, the watchful curio squats, but it has changed. Our regards to stone, is all he says. Oh, it's wakeful. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Do I want to go back? No, well, if I get the no, but then I risk, because I don't... Yeah, I'm going to do it another time, because I don't want to risk... if I bring it to London, there's a chance that it will be made worthless to me. Because they, like, censor it. I guess Overhill would work. Sure. Okay, so that's everything here. Boy, after this I'm going to head to bed. Because it's already 11 o'clock. I need to go to Dahut. Unfortunately. But on the plus side, it's right along the way. Oh, right, and also it's like 5 feet away from the entrance because Dahut is actually huge, and the title on the map is not where it actually is. I hate those faces. They scare me. Oh, I can't remember where it is. Dang it, I genuinely can't... I think it's on the eastern side. I'm gonna be mad... Oh, there it is, thank goodness. I'm hearing some gross noise. Phew. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna have so much clarity I'll never be able to be enthralled. I don't need terror. I need 200 of Okay. That's a lot, but I'll feel safer. Okay. The noise getting louder. Your bow light illuminates an uncountable school of eyeless, pale fish. Zayla pauses, fascinated by their pearly scales. He watches as the fish form silent ranks, rows upon rows of them, like a shark's jaws closing around you. Oh, God. Oh, no. The pearlescent fish are mesmerizing, but the relentless thudding of their scaled bodies upon your whole metal dissuades reverie. You flee the eyeless school at full speed, leaking from a half-dozen punctures in your shell hull, each no larger than a sardine. A thin filament stretches from each away into the dark towards a single point, quickly severed as your engines pull you away. Falling further and further behind you, the school turns its attention to another prey. The teaming mass surrounds a passing shark, bludgeoning it to cloudy paste. Good Lord. That's Godfall. I'm going too far north. What? Something... Oh my God. Fucking hell. I was so scared that whatever that thing was sticky, and it was going to stick me there. Holy hell, is it following still? Thank goodness I had my finger on the escape button. The second I saw something has been following you. Oh, Pirate Poet, I don't have time for you. I think it's just leftover music from the Constant Companion. It had way too much health. Oh, that was terrifying. Thank goodness it lets you just hop back up out of the ocean. Ooh, okay. 200 Echo. The lead bribe is only fair. Even with the bribe, the factor is reluctant to talk, but it seems the cannoneer knew him in the old days, and he's even more reluctant to have the cannoneer talk about the old days. Finally, he gives in. It was a place called Eisteval. Do you know it? It's, a striking place. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It's east. A long way east. We took it off all the maps. Not the maps last at Z anyway. That's all I know. Now, shall we let the past lie where it fell? Okay, I didn't remember that part. Two string catches for Soothing Cooper. Oh. That'd be cool if I had any strange catches. My terror is too high. Okay, I'll do that, I guess. Gets me a free supply, so why not? Yeah, harbor prisoners. Okay, manual save. God, the Constant Companion, that was terrifying. I don't like you. Okay. Next, I aim to go for the Salt Lions. For my friend, the nacreous, the Port Cecil Rubbery Man. And then I think it's off to Fallen London, and for me, off to bed. Yeah, oh man, yeah. I forgot my bedtime's 11 because of work. I'm gonna have to go straight to bed after this. Oh man. I wish I liked my job. I suppose this isn't the place to say that, but oh well. Nice. All right. Oh, wow, that gives you a lot. That must be just purely random. There's no way it's that useful most of the time. Manual save. Alright. Salt's attention, it insists. Godsley. It gestures at the face of the Northern Sphinx. It brandishes the cruet. You'll need Salt's attention to continue. You can gain in Wither, among other places. Oh. That was a waste. At least it was on the way home. Oh, damn it. Come back here. I wish to destroy you. Whew. Hey, nice. Alright, now back to London. Yeah, I do need to start getting into killing creatures, unfortunately. And I'd love to have an aft weapon. I don't think this ship allows it, if I recall. Yeah, it's the only thing it doesn't allow. Oh well. Okay. So close. Goodness. Okay. Do I have any recent news? Because I might as well spend it with these guys. Intriguing snippet. No, doesn't look like it. I must have spent it somewhere. Well, I'm right here. I might as well double check. I love being hit once and not having to completely rebuild my ship. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Alright, almost back in London. So close. Yeah, so now I have 3 nightmare strength. Amazing. And I still have a restful night, so it's not like I can get another one. Someone wants to sign on. Would want to. Yeah, that was a waste. Why'd you waste my time with that? Okay, so strategic information. Is there anything I think I want to give it to him because it doesn't keep. Or at least I always had problems where someone in my crew would be a spy and would steal it or make it useless. Yeah, you can give it to the Thai men in Khan's Glory, which I'm not going to do. And you can make vital intelligence if you have 2 of them. I don't know. I'll hold on to it for now. But yeah, it's like yeah, if it I mean, the determined doctor will steal it from you. And will like you don't get it back. Yeah, I'm oh man. Like it'd be great if I had 2 cuz then I could make a vital intelligence, but I don't. Yeah. Especially because I have him on my ship. It's only a matter of time before he'll steal it. So unfortunately I'm just going to give it to him. Alright. Well, that's the way of it. Alright, so now the ports. Principles of Coral. I have no idea why anyone thought that settlement was a good idea. Oh dear. Oh shoot. Oh no. My precious. Oh. Is it as beautiful? I wish they would let you sell. Like, the shops are right here. Anyway. 30 echo. 1 fuel. But liners make bad poems. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll do the rest of these in a second. Okay. This one has traveled. Traveled a long way. I smell diamonds, copper, basalt. Ha ha. Thank you. Nice. And I'm sure that there's other things I can use them for, but they take up room in my hold, so I'm getting rid of them. Okay. Alright. Now my hold should be okay. Oh, right. And London. Oh, wait. No, I don't want to deliver them. I want to keep them for our pal. I don't remember. I don't want to go over to Hunter's Keep just to remember what it is. Okay. Still not sorrow spider eggs. Well, that's a relief. Or maybe you just got lucky. Either way, they made it. So did you. Oh, God. Perhaps everyone will be... Oh, no. This is probably morally wrong, but... Shutter Palace? On second thought. Oh, no. I've made the world worse. Yeah, I'll have to go down there sometime. Wait, what? I'm nervous about that. Scintillac. Can I sell Scintillac? I'll sell one. I guess. I probably shouldn't. But I just did. I want to save one because I want to I want to see if Venderbite, the curator, can take it. Be nice if I could just sell 5 and then just keep the last one for a bit. Okay, I have 5 in my hold. I'm nervous about what's in the robe. Manual save. Okay, so I've saved several crates of wine sitting in lodgings. For your service and discretion? What? Oh, right. The cheery man and all. What's in here? Londoners give generously to Mr. Sachs. Is it really that time of year? Some of them ask. But a shake of the sack is all that it takes to convince them it is better to give than to receive the crimson's beast of winter's displeasure. You return home with a bulging sack of shiny new toys. When you next wake, the robe is gone. Holy Madeira. 2 strategic information. Oh. What? Do I have... Oh. Oh. Oh, well, okay. So immediately I'm going to make the vital intelligence. I don't know what those do. All these options will give you a single piece of vital intelligence, which you can trade to the Admiral, the Diplomat, perhaps elsewhere. I have 13 memories of Distant Shore, so I'm probably going to do that one. Yeah, I want to hold on to those. Okay, so I'm going to do this one. Of course, that's why, that's where. Now you know who. Okay. I'm going to run over here. I don't know what this does beyond what I already said. Okay. Enthusiastic nods. I'm glad you brought this to me. I have a colleague of sorts, a diplomat, so-called. I will tell you because I trust you. This diplomat will pay better, but I will put the information to better use. He leans forwards. There are powers in this world I cannot speak of. There are affairs of the Navy I am not proud of. Bring me more information like this, and we can set matters right. Oh. My hold is full. I didn't expect it to be full. Oh man, so I can't do the rest of my port reports yet. I'm going to look over here. The diplomat layers near Mansion's Pyre in a second-floor office above a gymnasium for pugilistic ladies and gentlemen. Your conversation is punctuated by distant shouts and blows. The diplomat smiles fondly at the sounds. Ooh. I can... So this is how... I've never done this. What kind of diplomacy is involved? The kind of diplomacy that doesn't get written down. I'm attached to the Admiralty, not the Foreign Office. London is not what she was, but she still has interests abroad. I look after them as best as I can. I do hope you're patriotic enough not to ask for too many details. I trust the Admiral more than I trust her. Well, now, the Admiral is a man of principle, very straightforward, very traditional in his views. I think it's rather courageous of him to expect the Navy to operate without outside assistance, and he has excellent taste in both chamber music and wine. I hope that makes my feelings free. You hate him and you both are enemies, and I don't know why he told me about you. except out of just like pure sweetness on his part. Okay, so I can also give recent moves to her. This is very intriguing to me. Because that helps in other places. Oh, this is so intriguing. I wonder if it takes shape in the hold. I don't know. I have 1,400. I don't know what else I should be doing, really. Wait, what? Why can't I buy more? Oh, not enough room. Okay. Yeah, I'm full. I didn't expect to be. I'm probably going to sell more Scintillac. I got this from something. I don't want to go all the way out and then back in, so I'm going to probably keep these for now. Can I sell Zoop here? I feel like I may. Oh, this is approved. This doesn't help me anyway, I don't think. I need to buy like actual romantic literature for the Abbey, for the Adventuress, so I can sell those no problem. I thought I could. Huh. Oh, here we go. Here's Zoop. So that. I'll sell these two. I'm sure someone will scream, but I need room. Okay. I'm going to save there for now because I have to decide what I'm going to do with this money. I have to decide. I think I'm going to get that agent. I want to go out. Next, I want to go out to Hunter's Nightmare and do that stuff. Okay, but for now, yeah, I need 10 space of cargo for this guy. I don't have room for that sort of thing. I might have to use this right away with the Poissonnier. But for now, I'm going to manually save. I'm going to go to sleep. That is a lot. Whew, okay. Zestatious Diamonds, this might be my favorite trip I've done ever. I got so much done, and it took like 6 hours of my day. God. But yeah. I look forward to having something for aft, for when people circle behind me. This one, yeah, it's Vales -3. I never want to go low. Good lord. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to pay a lot of money for it only to do positives. Yeah, but on the plus side, yeah. So, like, you would only turn this off for fuel-saving purposes. You wouldn't need to turn it off to be hidden. That would be good. What's this here? Discouragement. What is this? Aft. I don't have aft. Forward. 24, 24. Yeah, it's not much better. It's a little better, but not amazing. I still don't understand why deck does so little. Oh, I think probably, if I had to guess, it's because I think the weapons that you get, like the irrepressible cannoneer and all, I think those are the ones that you're trying to get. Like, these are just basic. Yeah, deck 15-15. I'm not doing torpedoes. 15-15. No, that's what I have, yeah. Okay, anyway, so I saved. I'm going to save again. Okay, bye. Have a good evening. Goodbye.